How much you want to bet no one was expecting this to show up first? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to DS Asylum. I'm your Ward of the Mitchy Shrine, and today we're using my 3 favorite teams in the game's history. These are my 3 favorite teams to use whenever I do play PvP. And number 1 is Androids. I think Androids is my favorite team in the game at this point, simply because no one uses it. It's always been probably the single most underrated team in the game. Just for the whole 2 years that the game's been out, Androids has without question been the single most underrated team in the game. I think part of the reason why is because a lot of aspects of it, like Cell, Majin 21, excel on other teams, Regen specifically. And I've always said that the free-to-play 21 is easily the single most underrated unit in the game. People should be using her. Even now, she's amazing. Her support is amazing. This team is just all around good. Now, my usual variant isn't this. My usual variant is 21, 21, and Fusion 13. But because I saw Super Vegito there, and he did have Vegito Blue, he just decided not to bring him. And because of that, I was like, let's not bring the red Fusion 13. Even though he could stop Vegito's combos, and I considered bringing him for that purpose, but I was like, no, because if I mess up, he's just dead. So we decided not to bring him, and instead we're using 21-21 and Cell, which is still a competent combo. The blue 21 covers Cell, and then the Majin 21 covers the blue 21. It all works out. Honestly, I kind of wish I had gotten the last 500 Z power on the free-to-play 21 that I needed to get her to red 2. I have no idea when those events will ever come back. That's another reason why I like Cell. I feel like people have forgotten that Cell can do that, because no one sees Regen anymore, so you don't really see Cell that often anymore. It's always fun when someone does use a Rising Rush, and you can just cover rescue the hell out of there. It is definitely fun. I noticed my health and I was like, alright, maybe it's time to transform now. And this team just shreds people. It does. This team just shreds. I don't know what else to tell you. This team is good. There's nothing more I can say. This team is good. You guys should be using it if you have access to these units. Honestly. I could have switched out, but I was like, The odds of him making this comeback are so slim. I'll just let 21 take the hits, if I'm being honest with you. I really wasn't that concerned. Go ahead and pop this green card. I love her green card too. Draws a new card and you can combo off it. So good. Her damage is, non-existent, as you saw, but she's a support type. She's not supposed to have great damage. And the thing is, she can have good damage, but you've got to let her debuffs build, and I think Super Vegito's immune to her debuffs. So that's the main thing about the free-to-play 21. She's mainly a support. If you can get her debuffs going, then she does a lot of damage, but units like the Vegitos that are immune to those debuffs doesn't really too much. But next is my Goku team. I think you guys saw this coming from, the last PvP video I made. The Goku team is easily my favorite. I decided to put Super Kaioken Goku on there just to see, if I did like him more than LF Super Saiyan 3. I don't. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't like him more. I don't think he does that much more damage than LF Super Saiyan 3 does. I have them both at 3 stars, and I don't feel like either of them do any more damage than the other. But I do feel like the Super Kaioken Goku is more of a liability because I need to pop a green card in order for him to get his endurance, and his defenses are just as bad, if not worse, than LF Super Saiyan 3. So honestly, I feel like they're pretty even in terms of how good they are. But Kakarot Goku is one of my favorite free-to-play units, easily number 2. My 3 favorite free-to-play units ever are the free-to-play 21 at number 1, number 2 is Kakarot Goku, and number 3 is probably Great Saiyaman. Great Saiyaman was number 1 until those 2 came out. It's crazy. Easily my favorites. So, I don't know where that Tap Blast came from. He wasn't supposed to do that. I believe I also get hit with the green card glitch in this match too, but it actually goes in my favor. had to think of what to say. But yeah, I don't think the Goku team being here surprises anybody, especially, you know, since I think by now, Kaioken Blue Goku is easily my favorite unit in the entire game. This Kaioken Blue Goku right here, I think is easily my favorite unit in the whole game. He's just so reliable. He just blasts through teams like it's nothing. And keep in mind, I understand they got Shallot and, you know, Zenkai Trunks here, but this was mainly like a full future bench. I guess they just wanted Shallot there to buff some of the God Ki units that were there. And I mean, I guess you could stick Shallot on future. There's enough God Ki there to warrant him being there, I suppose. So, like, it's whatever, but like, I literally only brought Super Kaioken Goku out at that moment to justify him being there, because I had only brought him out like one other time throughout the match. I feel obligated to bring him out, but I don't like using him. I'm not gonna lie, I don't enjoy using him, so I make it my mission to keep him out as long as possible, and then I let my boy Kaioken Blue Goku finish it. I love this unit, I really do. I think he is like my favorite unit in the game now. Number 3, oh, would you look at that, more Kaioken Blue Goku. It's basically a God Ki variant, if you would. It's got a full Saiyan bench, not a God Ki bench. So, I mean, you can call it God Ki or you can call it Pure Saiyans. I would call it Pure Saiyan since the bench is buffing Saiyans, not God Ki. But you can make the argument for it's a God Ki team because the units you're using are all God Ki. So, it's whatever. But I feel like there's more units here that buff Saiyans than God Ki. The only ones that even buff God Ki are Kaioken Blue Goku and Vegito Blue. And Kaioken Blue Goku also buffs Saiyans. So, I don't know. Do what you will, but I refer to it as a Saiyan team because of the Saiyan bench. And it's just fun. Shallot is really good as Super Saiyan God. He really is. I mean, I know I gave him a little bit of flack in my original video, but that's just because of that transformation. But after, you know, putting this team together, the Kaioken Blue Goku's a pretty decent lead. Got that card draw speed. He does have some buffs for the first couple minutes, so couple counts. So it's very good. Also, I did switch Shallot's super attack. Of course, I'm like the only person in the world who doesn't get that feint. Like, of course I am, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm not crying. You're crying. But yeah, this team just meshes well together. And Vegito Blue is Vegito Blue, right? I mean, like, as much as we all hate him, people who actually have Vegito Blue can testify that Vegito Blue is actually pretty fun to use. He's just a dick. he's not fun to face. Vegito Blue is actually pretty fun when you're the one using him, but when you're not the one using him, he's like the most hated unit in the game. And again, just for the sake of it, I could have ended this with Vegito Blue and like gotten a legendary finish or what have you. Also, the lag is amazing. I could have ended this with Vegito Blue and gotten a legendary finish, but I made a conscious decision to end it with this super attack because I love Kaioken Blue Goku. Oh man, stop praying. Anyway, as always, we're going to take a look at the equipment that I use for the teams in their entirety. I don't just show you the equipment for the units that I plan on using because I never know who I'm going to use. So I think it's just safer to show you the equipment for everybody. That and also so that if you try and make this team yourself, any of these teams yourself, you have a good bearing on what equipment I used, and it could help you out on building your team and what equipment you would put on your team. That's why I show everyone and not just the units I use. Well, at least everyone that is going to be used. If like I don't show you the bench units equipment because there's no reason for that. It's just bench. You can put anything on there. I just slap whatever S-ranked equipment I can that'll bring my ability bonus up as high as possible. Like genuinely, that's all I do when it comes to the bench units. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. It went by pretty fast. Like, these matches were pretty fast because I have fun using these teams. I play really well when I use these teams. So even, you know, the top tier teams like Fusion, Vegito Blue or not, you know, Fusions are still really good. I tend to just wipe the floor with it because, again, I have fun and I play better whenever I use these teams. I also just realized while editing this video that I didn't use a single Rising Rush in this video. Huh. So I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Peace.